Unit 4, Lesson 3, Problem-Based Learning Process, the closing stage. This lesson will examine the steps completed in the closing stage and offer a solved problem-based learning problem from a learner's perspective. In the closing stage, Step 7 will be completed with other members of the problem-based learning team. Steps 8 and 9 will be completed independently. Step 7, Synthesis. The group shares results of private study. Learners identify their learning resources and share their results. These are synthesized into a final solution which is applied to the problem. Step 8, Reflection. The learner reflects on what they have learned about the process and the problem and identifies what they would do differently if faced with the same problem again. They articulate why they made particular decisions and reasons for implementing them in a particular way. This is formative reflection as discussed in Unit 3. Step 9, Further Application. The learner reflects on what they have learned and how it can be applied to other areas of the business. The following is an example of a solved problem-based learning problem. Company X has problems with cash flow. Some months there is a shortfall and they find it difficult to pay suppliers. Other months there's no problem and there's sufficient funds to pay suppliers and other debts. It's becoming more difficult to receive overdrafts from the banks due to new financial rules. In the past 12 months, our overdraft has reduced by 20%. In the past year, they have had to rely on overdrafts for 8 out of the 12 months. As a result of the problem-based learning process, we'd like to reduce our dependence on overdraft facilities from 8 to 2 months. Step 1, Clarify the terms. Cash flow. This is the money flowing into and going out of the business. It depends on income and expenditure. When a deficit occurs, there is more money going out, expenditure, than coming in, income. Income. Our income comes from business and domestic customers. Expenditure. Our main costs are rent, light, heat, and we have a large amount of staff costs. The main staff costs are sales representatives. The main non-staff costs are stock. Step 2, Define. The problem could be occurring for one of 5 reasons or a combination of these. Sales, carrying excess stock, credit terms operated for our business customers, excess costs in certain parts of the business, possibly sales, poor sales forecasting which leads to excess stock. Step 3, Brainstorm. Identify new approaches to forecasting sales to reduce excess stock. Collaborate with customers to determine potential orders. Reduce costs. Implement a sales management system to allow customers to self-order and reduce sales staff. Increase the number of domestic customers which do not require credit. Apply to the bank for an overdraft. Reduce credit offered to business customers. And step 4, Classification. Close relationships. Finance. New customers. Proposed solution to be explored. Step 5, the learning objectives. Other forecasting approaches, companies' forecasting approaches, data required to forecast orders, sales data customers have, potential sharing of data, ICT tools for forecasting. Step 6, self-study. Learning objectives 1 and 2, forecasting used in other companies, forecasting approaches used in our company, and forecasting approaches from textbook or the internet. Learning objectives 3 and 4, what data is required, what sales data do customers have, sharing data. Learning objective 6, Excel templates. Step 7, synthesis. Data, forecasting techniques, forecasting error, and step 8, reflection. Problem-specific learning, non-problem specific learning, decision-making rationale, what would I do differently, and step 9, reapplication, self-study resources. In the next lesson, in Unit 5, we will explain the various roles of the problem-based learning process.